Hi, this is Dan Maher. Welcome to Math098. I want to, in this introduction, just show you some main things in the My Math Lab platform. The introduction assignment, that is where you got the link to this video. So hopefully this came up first. Take the time to watch this. It'll save you some time later. Now, a couple things. Here's a view of your main home page. When you come on here, here's announcements up here. Any announcements that I make will be emailed to the email address that you registered onto this Pearson My Math Lab platform. So make sure that is an email address that you check regularly, because that's where the communications will come through that channel most of the time. So the calendar is here, and we're going to bring that up. And today I'm recording this on June 5th, but when we get to the course date starts here on Monday, we're going to have a quiz that's available and so on. And I just wanted to show you that some things show up, like when I click on the homework tab here on the left, all the homework that's been assigned will show up because it's available to work on. In fact, if you want to, you can work on any of this stuff. I wouldn't get too far ahead, especially when we get into the new material in Chapter 4. But you'll notice there's no quizzes or tests here. The places that they show up is on the calendar. So if you want to see what's going on this week, or look a week ahead, which is probably pretty good, you'll notice that on Monday this quiz for Chapter 1 became available, and the intro assignment is due. That's what these little clock deals. It means that there's an assignment due. Now the homework has a soft due date, or I allow you to work on things past due date, but I sure recommend that you stay on task. In fact, it would be to your advantage to get ahead usually. And then the chapter review is due, which was assigned, and the just says Chapter 2 quiz became available, and chapter review and so on. But here's the ones you really got to watch out for, is that the Chapter 1 quiz is due on Friday. The quizzes are not soft due dates. When they go past their due date, eventually they'll get a 0 in the grade if you haven't done that. Now the way I do quizzes and tests are different, and we'll talk about that some too. But this is a value of the calendar, is that your quizzes will show up and tests will show up. If we get into Thursday, July 6th, we're going to have a proctored test for chapters 1 and through 3. And proctor tests are face-to-face proctoring. I will put together a session where I'll proctor up in Wenatchee Hall and in the Wenatchee campus. I'll set that time and I'll announce that time. I'm not quite sure. I might poll the class to find out what's the most valuable time, since there's some flexibility whether I do that during the day or in the evening. I can do either one. So we'll get announcements on that. Again, your emails, be sure you're close to this. Now, if you're not available to the time that I proctor this session, which will be a two-hour session to take a test, this test, when you come into this test, I'll need your ID to verify who you are, and you can use a TI-30 equivalent calculator. I'll have some available if you don't have any. And you can use blank scratch paper. So you need to be prepared for these tests, without any outside help. The only that's all you can use during the test. So now, if you're not available or can't make the time that I set up, there is some proctoring services around. I'll have to find out. There's a proctoring service on campus, so you can make an appointment to do that. If you're not in Wenatchee area, there's some, either to use another community college. I've used that. I've had a student in Mexico using a college and one in the Philippines using it college, proctoring services for these online classes. But also libraries are good resources. If you're outside the area and there's a local library in your town, that might be something. Now, the process to get that set up, which you should start working on right away, is to contact the library, see if they do that. The test will be on the My Math Labs platform, so I'll need to get comfortable with them being a proctor. I don't allow family members. I don't allow old high school teachers, that kind of stuff, unless they've signed an agreement to be a proctor. So, but librarians or library services have those. If there's a community college close to you or closer than the Wenatchee or Omak campus, we'd use that. But if you have access to Wenatchee or the Omak campus, it's pretty much expected that you use those. But again, coming back to the calendar, this is why I like this calendar view. I've sent you a schedule for the entire course. This quarter in the summer has a few less days than the other quarters of the year, so it's a compressed schedule. So we're going through a lot of material pretty quickly. So make sure you stay up to speed. And the reason I want a proctored test right away is that you learn what the proctoring means. Also, this material in chapters 1, 2, and 3 is essential to get through Math098. So if you have some weak areas here, spend some time. And if you got tested so you're taking 98 first, you still need to know this material inside and out to succeed in 98 and 99 especially. So please be diligent from the beginning. Don't think that this is just a review and I don't have to worry about it. It is the proctored tests are 60% of your grade, so this is a big test. And there's 4 proctored tests and a final, and so please take this seriously. Get through the reviews, and then we'll talk about some resources to apply while you're trying to do a lot of material. If you're not real comfortable with this material, there's some great resources here to fill it in pretty quickly. You just need to spend the time and get into the right stuff. Don't think that you can skip things, especially towards the ends of chapters, and think that you're going to get by. You know, I talk about it a lot in class too. There's a lot of ways to learn algebra. A lot of times I have students that kind of learn algebra after the tests, as they fail the tests or do poorly on the tests, and then go back and find out what they're doing wrong, and learn the algebra. You won't make it through the class, because the next chapter, 90% of the time, you'll need to know everything that was on this last test and go on. So, or almost everything. So, set yourself up to do this in a successful way. Now, a couple other things going just to the platform, like the homework I talked about. But you'll notice that the quizzes and tests, even though they're on the calendar, they don't show up here. So don't think that this is good access and then get surprised by upcoming tests. So check that calendar out. Check the schedule I sent out was hard schedule, and if there's some major problem with the platform or something, that could slide or change. So we'll use the calendar on this platform as a hard dates for things and your announcements and so on. There's also an online book, and your grade book is here. The study plan portion we're not going to use. I do recommend the online book as a great tool because it has lots of little great things in here. Like if I go to section 1, I can also get a video presentations that the My Math Labs, they have a flash version, which is really a teacher in front of a board or a projection screen doing that. This part right here is really handy. In fact, it's really set up well to work on your phone or tablets and so on. And in this case, when you click on this, it really breaks it down. You'll notice you get this menu. So if you're having trouble with an objective and so on, if you're going through the review and you're having a little bit of trouble figuring out what these questions are about, I can click through this, and here's the part about translating and so on.
The essentials.
Very, very good.
The equal symbol.
Very, very good summaries or little, just short little deals. This covers all of this section in 15 minutes, but you can also, you can click through it really well. If there's a part here, you go, I know what this is, so and so on. So this is one of the major parts where gives you access to some of the great features of this platform and so on. And a lot of the videos that I push out, that I record on YouTube, that you'll have links to in the announcements for this course, are some of it I go into kind of details of what they're doing, but usually I try to stay more of a summary and a strategic deal and using strategies in algebra, and sometimes reviewing, like putting maybe a couple chapters worth of stuff kind of summarized together to say, quickly summarize and say, now we're to this point. Because these videos are here, you will never be robbed of getting the real details explained to you about how to do each example, each part of this course. So check this out, use this. I do recommend that you go through this stuff first before you attempt a lot of problems. Now, I know we're reviewing, so you could do this and kind of skim through. I would go in chapter 1 review. I'd probably skim through this, maybe take an hour and a half of these probably the sections that are doing the video presentation here. I'll bring that up quickly. This flash version is a lecture. Like, this is a 7-minute lecture on this section. And
hi, I'm Clint Vance. In our introduction to algebra, I will discuss some of the basic concepts of algebra. We'll first look at algebraic expressions.
So, it's more like a typical lecture. So if that's what you think you need on each one of this, and these are not real long, this one's 8 minutes, about 8 minutes long. Some of them go up to 15, 20 minutes. Great resource. Don't skip this. Okay. Now, as we're going through this again, so that's a great resource, a chapter context online and so on, discussions and so on. Some of these are menu choices or because I'm an instructor. But get familiar with this platform. Make sure you got an email address that you check regularly. And good luck, and we'll talk more. Use your resources.